China has delivered what may be another blow to the American aerospace giant Boeing. Why? Because the tariff war between US and China is escalating. How is that? Well, China has halted all new jet purchases amidst the escalating trade war with Trump 2.0. The 179 Boeing aircraft scheduled for delivery by 2027 now stands in limbo because China has suddenly put a freeze on this, which could cost billions of dollars. Beijing's directive also bans US aircraft parts, putting pressure on the Chinese carriers and sparking fears of soaring maintenance costs. Meanwhile, Boeing shares plummeted 3% in pre-market trading. The move follows President Trump's latest round of punishing tariffs over 145% on Chinese goods. Remember, there's been a 90-day pause for everybody else except China. In retaliation, China increased its tariffs to 125%, and then it came out with an aviation strike. The turbulence may not end here. The Trump administration has opened new national security investigations into semiconductors and pharma when it comes to China, hinting at more tariffs, more escalation, more trade wars between the world's largest and second largest economy. As the US and China dig in, a $650 billion trade relationship now is at the brink of it. And Sanjay Lazar, who's an aviation expert, joins me to talk more about the impact this could have on the sector. Sanjay, now this is a very important development simply because these are very large deliveries that now stand in limbo. While the trade war continues, help us understand the impact this could have on the aviation landscape if the Boeing deliveries actually do not happen.
Good evening, Gaurie. Thank you for having me on your show. Yes, China has just struck back to the US and said that Boeing deliveries should stop. As you rightly pointed out, about 179 aircraft are pending delivery between 25 and 27. Now, the important thing here is China is actually the second largest outside of the United States, customer for Boeing. And though the figures don't actually show, at one point when the MAX issue had hit the world, almost 25% of all aircraft out of Boeing were going to China. So this is really going to impact China in the long term for parts, and it's going to shake up Boeing. On the flip side, there is a positive side to it because Indian carriers are hungry for aircraft and perhaps they could work out a good deal with Boeing for these 170 or 180 odd aircraft that are available.
It's a large deal, isn't it? It's a large deal. But do you think this is posturing? While, of course, the Boeing shares have taken a hit, these are very large orders that get decided much in advance. They don't just change suddenly at the drop of a hat. Do you think this is just posturing ahead of the two sides meeting to possibly bring down some of these trade tensions?
Well, it's anyone's guess, to be frank, whether it's pure posturing, because I can see both sides hardening. I don't see any relaxation from either side. The Americans are very serious about what they're doing. And China also has COMAC, its own aircraft manufacturer, and they will encourage them. Let's also remember that, Air India Express has also got a number of aircraft that were supposed to be delivered to China last year and this year. And Air India had got Aeroflot aircrafts, the Airbus 350s, also which were cancelled. So it's not completely out of the picture that some of these may get cancelled. 10, I think, were to be handed over in the next week or 2 weeks, and if the payments are complete. So that will be the true, proof of the pudding. If those deals go through, then we'll know that, this is just posturing. But also the other thing is Ryanair. Michael O'Leary has just gone on to say that if tariffs stay on, and Ryanair is another big consumer for the Boeing aircrafts, they might postpone their 25, 30 aircraft, which they're expecting at the end of this year, next year until tariff.
Very quickly, sir, which is that the impact this will have on the aviation sector from spiraling costs point of view for Indian sector, very quickly.
Well, it's really not going to spiral costs for the Indian sector, so to speak. It's going to hurt China because China has over 1,000 Boeings currently in operation across all its 3-4 airlines. And they're going to face, some pain because if the parts are more expensive, it's going to be more difficult. I think India
Okay.
just needs aircraft, and we're going to lap it up.
Okay, so that's a positive tide to end this on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me.